Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today is a great day. We have passed 10,000 subscribers and I could call myself a YouTuber now. I'm not doing this full time and I have no plans to do that in the future either. So this is just on my spare time doing something that I love and really trying to learn new skills and take you along the ride. So this channel is not growing super fast and that is not really the point of it. And I actually had those ideas from the beginning. So when I split the channel up the first year from being a game channel with some YouTube learning things, I already was thinking about those ideas. So I had actually posted like 300 gaming videos in order to teach myself to speak English in a great way so it wouldn't sound that Scandinavian and so on. So I tried to really improve my English. So I recorded a bunch of gaming videos. Those are on my second channel at the moment and I haven't posted that for years. So this is my main focus. And we can look at that announcement here.
Hello explorers and welcome to another video. So in this little video I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the changes that I'm trying to make on this channel and also a little bit about how this channel have done so far. I have been doing YouTube for a year now. Woohoo! So during the last year I actually have submitted one video every day for every day of this year, but except for one day when I was in the hospital, but I consider that one a freebie perhaps. So I'm very pleased with this channel so far. I have almost 150 subscribers, which is amazing to me. And I was thinking a little bit about my concept from the beginning. I was trying to make a channel that you had some gameplay videos and some programming videos, so you could actually inspire people to start programming when they are looking at gameplay videos, and then they might get suggested to watch a programming video, and these things could be related, especially as I'm playing mostly puzzle games and story bridge games, and I think that puzzle games at least are very close to programming problems. But I've thought a little bit about it. I've asked the community what you wanted me to do with this channel, and I have decided to split this channel up in two channels.
After that announcement, I went on for almost a year and I got this realization, or YouTube came out with this announcement that they would not give any money to smaller YouTube channels. So you needed to have 4,000 hours of watch time and you needed to have 1,000 subscribers. And I did not have 1,000 subscribers and I was really concerned about that, and I was talking about my community and the growth that I saw for the future. So this is the video about that.
And welcome to my studio. This is a new camera, and this is also a little bit of a reaction video. I'm not usually doing this kind of videos, and I'm not that engaged in the YouTube community perhaps. I really like to do videos that are instructional and that can help people, and I don't really mind whatever goes on in the community because it doesn't really affect me. And so the news that I got this morning in an email didn't really affect me either. I think YouTube community will change though. It will be a difference from now on. So the change that I got in my email this morning was that you're not eligible for monetization or being in the YouTube partner program if you don't have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 or more hours of content or viewed content the last 12 months. And I have a lot more than 4,000 hours of viewed the last 12 months. And my growth is pretty much 4,000 since the year before. So I do have that kind of watch time. But what I don't have is that many subscribers. I'm a little bit over 280 subscribers at the moment, and I don't really mind that. I really like the community I have so far. The people that stuck around and that subscribe to me, they are great, they are insightful, they come with great comments, and I really like to interact with you guys and girls. So I really like what we are building here, and I don't want to grow too fast. So my scare is that I do something that gets knowledge out there and also gets recognition, and too many people show up that aren't really interested in the kind of content that I'm creating. And that's not a good community to have. That could actually hurt the community a lot. So I want this community to be something that we have together and that we create content that we like to watch and that we learn from.
After that video, I went on continuing creating, and by the end of the year, things had exploded. So this was my reaction to that.
Hello explorers, and welcome to another video. We are at the end of this year, and by this time it's good to reflect on what has happened the last year. And this has been a really crazy year for this channel. Last year when I sat down during the Christmas break, I was looking at the subscriber number around 400 subscribers, and I got the notion that, or YouTube told me that you can't be a real YouTuber and actually have all the features of the YouTube if you don't have 1,000 subscribers. And I was a little bit put down by that. I thought that was really unfair. YouTube have always been an open platform, and it has been really fun to be there. And it doesn't really matter that much to me, because the real part of doing this is actually you. It's that you are watching this and that you actually learn something. When I look back at this year, because I thought that maybe around now I would have like 800 subscribers or something, because the growth was looking that way, and now I'm actually at 1,200 almost. That's crazy. It has gone so fast, and I'm very thankful for that. And now I have all the features of YouTube, and I will continue to create one video a week. I still have a full-time job, and I have salary and everything like that, so I'm not supported by YouTube, and I don't think that YouTube will be my job. But I'm trying to answer as many questions as possible and trying to be a good part of this community. I've seen that some people has actually helped me answering questions and so on, and the good thing with the community is that everybody can be a part, everybody can help each other to actually figure out the solutions to some problems. And if this channel can help anyone make a better product, or make anyone get a new skill, get anybody excited about software development, or get anybody make anybody learn a new skill, then I think my job here is done.
But of course, this channel have been a lot of fun. I have a lot of great memories from things I have created over the years. So I put together this small nostalgic collection of intros from different videos, so you can see how the channel has progressed over the years. It's not really in a timeline manner, but there is a bunch of different videos from different times over these 8 years.
Hello explorers and hello explorers. Hello explorers.
Hi, and welcome to another Code Jam. Today we're gonna solve a puzzle! Yeah! We're gonna solve this puzzle.
Hello explorers.
Hello explorers and welcome to another video.
Hello explorers, and welcome to another video.
Hello explorers and welcome to another video.
Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about Tacotrain.
Hello explorers, welcome to another video.
Hello again, and we are today going to talk about creating different voices with very little input data.
Hello explorers, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about a problem I had at work.
Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about WebSockets. Today we are going to talk about YOLO. Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about machine learning in the cloud. Hello explorers and welcome to another video. It's that time again. It's the best time of the year. It's Advent of Code. Today we are going to continue talking about the Ceph cluster and setting up more metrics. And in this case, we are talking about alarms.
Hello explorers and welcome to another video. And today I'm gonna talk a little bit about Unix philosophy.
Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today we're gonna talk about love. Yes, hello explorers and welcome to another chill stream where I'm gonna create an intro logo. Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about biometrics or fingerprint scanning in order to unlock something in your program. Hello explorers and welcome to another video. And today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna play with some CSS, JavaScript and create an audio player. And last but not least, I asked for questions for this video, so I could answer pretty much anything. And I could make this into a regular thing, doing it every year or every quarter or something like that. If there is a bunch of these kind of great questions that don't really contain to the topics that we're talking about in different videos, more general about me or about my work or anything that you are interested in. I'm not sure if that is something that will fit for the channel, but I could of course create those kind of content as well. So first off, we have Aaron Pearl, and Aaron has been with me for a long while now. I'm not really sure exactly when he subscribed, if it was like 4 years ago or something like that, but he's very active on the channel, questions a lot of things and comments on most of the videos and so on. So he's a very nice person to have as a subscriber. I'm very thankful for him. And of course, he came with a great question. You have covered this, I'm not sure if you have covered this in the past, but I'm curious about your day job. Your videos often refer to things that you encounter at work, so I'm curious whether you are a developer, DevOps, sysadmin, etc., since your videos cover a variety of things. I'm also curious about your feelings about the failure or the lack of a better term, since we never ended up with going anywhere, of squirrel, since that was actually how I discovered your channel. Well, these are great questions. The first one, when it comes to the work I do, I work for a company called Text Talk, and Text Talk has a bunch of different services. The most predominant or the most general services that they have are eShop. So they have a bunch of e-commerce in Sweden, like 6,000 shops or so on. And that branch is the pretty cheap or pretty affordable solution. So you have a bunch of smaller shops, and it should be powerful and easy to use. And they have, of course, created something that is very useful for people, and they sell a lot of product there. I think there is revenue in the billions going through all these stores, so it's a very cool platform to be a part of. I have worked a lot with e-commerce before I started at Text Talk, so I was not really that interested in continuing working with e-commerce. I could do that, but I have built too many payment solutions in my day, so I didn't really want to work with that. But when I was hired, we were talking about the other branch, which is more into media and media distribution, and how to make a platform where people can read or find media in a good way. And we are working with publishers of books, magazines, or newspapers, a lot of different places. And the product portfolio has a bunch of different things in it, so that it's very diverse. We have one platform that is just presenting things. So we have, of course, web, Android apps, iOS apps, in order to present media in different forms. Very commonly used for newspapers. So they have a reading mode that is a replica where you can read the different pages in a newspaper. But you also have an article mode where you can watch or read the articles in a more accessible way. And Text Talk has always been an accessible company, trying to make things as useful for consumers as possible. So even if you are hard at hearing, or if you are dyslexic, or if you are blind or anything like that, you should have some outlet in order to get information. And Text Talk has worked with municipality in Sweden for a long time, which is taking in content and making it accessible for the blind. Because the content that comes out from Sweden, all the news that is generated in Sweden, is actually construed by law in some way that you, as a citizen of Sweden, should have access to information to inform yourself and be a part of the society. So in Sweden, you need to make newspapers accessible. So we have worked with them for a long while in order to make both printed media where it's easier to read, and also audio part of media. And when you have a newspaper, they usually create things for print, of course. So they create IDML files from InDesign, they create PDF files, they create other formats that are more page-based and sent to these kind of print houses that just creates newspapers. But we needed some outlet in order to take those and make them into a streamable format that you can actually read and actually create something with a voice. So that is our first product that we created in order to take this media and select which part is articles and how the media flows in order to create flowable media and something that you can read. And we have added to that magazines, so you can now get flowable medias of magazines and also books. And because they are working with a lot of book producers today, they of course get those in EPUB formats and different other formats. So we have a bunch of different converters in order to take some media in and create another media out. And I think there is like 20 converters that takes media in and create it into our internal format. And then we have X converters out, like 10 of them, in order to create output formats. So it's a very interesting platform to work with. And I have worked with this conversion part for a long time. So I have a lot of knowledge about converting media from one point to another, working with the semantics of media, and how to work with that kind of concepts. And I think it was about 8 years ago we said that, well, we have a lot of information that comes in, but we don't really have a good way of taking in media from PDFs, reading PDFs and handling PDFs. So I started to work on this tool that could read PDFs and create something that we could extract information from later on. And that tool has grown, so it is a Swiss Army knife to work with PDFs pretty much. You can do a lot of different things with it. Everything from extracting text, splitting, merging, and all those kind of things, to actually compressing PDFs so they are more useful in our workflows and so on. Also some kind of repair on PDFs and so on. So there is a bunch of different things that I've worked with there. We have worked with different text-to-speech solutions, and yeah, a lot of different things around this conversion part of this. And for a couple of years now, I think I was asked like 4 or 5 years ago if I also wanted to help out with the management of servers and so on, because I'm very interested in a lot of different topics. I want to work with a lot of different things. And we have already a couple of people that are very good at it and work as sysadmins or DevOps people in order to keep things running, and we run a lot of things in-house. We are working on moving it to distribution centers as well, but we still want to maintain our own servers and handle those things, both because of cost and also because we already have that knowledge, of course, and we think we are doing a pretty good job with it. So because I wanted to get into that, I have also become somewhat of a sysadmin and a DevOps person, created a bunch of flows, and a couple of years ago, or 2 years ago or something like that, we needed a solution to store a lot of media, of course, because we are growing and growing. So then we introduced Ceph, and I started to actually learn about Ceph and work with Ceph, and have become a little bit of an expert in that field as well. So that is pretty much what I work with and how everything came together. This channel was created at Text Talk. I had a colleague, which sadly is not working at Text Talk anymore, called Samuel, and Samuel was talking to me about teaching and learning things on YouTube, and I had one person very early when I was studying computer science that asked me about the question that the teacher was talking about, and I explained it to her, and she said that, why is the teacher actually teaching the subject? You know much more about the topic and is better at explaining it, so why don't you explain it instead? I thought that was a great compliment, and when I talked about this with Samuel, he said, well, if you are interested in creating YouTube videos, there is a great progression there in order to keep you up to date with things and learn stuff while you teach it to other people. So he was pretty much giving me the idea, and then I just started doing it. And my thought was, I will do one video a week and try to keep that schedule and see how long I will keep it up. And now, 8 years later, I have no problems to continue doing it for a while more. So this is really fun. When it comes to Squirrel, that is an interesting topic. I think still that Squirrel is one of the better solutions for this. I really would like it to be have better reach than it has. I have not put any effort into updating the software anymore, so I haven't updated the Android application for a long while. If I had all the time in the world, had nothing else to do, I would get on that and rewrite it in Flutter or something like that, or learn more about what is it called? Or get into more Android application development. I haven't looked into that for years, so I'm not really an Android developer at the moment. But that would be fun to update the application and get it up and running again. But I'm not sure if I put in a lot of effort there, if I ever will get it back in some way. Will we actually be using it? We have a great plugin that need more love, of course. It's not really that visibly pleasing and so on. And we have a great application in the Android application, but it still needs a lot of updates in order to be really useful. And when it comes to these giant companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, and so on, if they are pushing for a different solution, it might win over in the future. So I'm not sure if I will take that route, but I would like Squirrel to be more prevalent than it is. So that is my feelings about that. I think I'm sad about it, and I really hope that it would fly more than it does. Another person that has asked a bunch of questions. So I have got two persons asking questions from the request for questions video. And this was Wayne Begley. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. But he had a bunch of different questions. So the question is, do you ever finish AOC each year? So the advent of code. I've noticed that you tend to not use dynamic programming, Dijkstra algorithms, A-star search, and other algorithms that could be good solutions to AOC problems. What's the reason for this? Why do you don't use things like enum streams, record classes in AOC solutions? How did you get into software engineering? Do you take part in any other coding challenges? And what programming languages do you use? Which do you use most often? What are your favorite and which would you like to learn next? So there is a bunch to answer here. When it comes to the advent of code, I don't finish it every year. I have finished it 2 years, I believe. When it has been years that I thought that was really fun, really engaging. I really loved the different challenges, and I could put my own spin to it. So I don't do that every year. And when it comes to using algorithms, different algorithms, most of them I don't know by heart. I haven't really looked into Dijkstra, A-star, and so on. In the future, I might do these kind of programming algorithm videos, but I haven't done that. And I'm not using Google at all when I solve AOC. I just try to figure out the solution from my own brain and trying to use that kind of problem solving. So when you are trying to solve something at work, you usually do a lot of research and so on. But when you are just reading a problem and trying to solve it on screen, you're not Googling it and doing a lot of research and so on. You're just trying to solve the problem. And in this case, I'm not looking up different algorithms, and that's why I'm not using them. When it comes to enum streams records, it's not concepts that I reach for first. I'm not more comfortable in using other things first. Enums is something that I use if I feel that they are really beneficial. So I have used enum sometimes when I wanted to create quick classes that means a bunch of things. I could already use like numbers in order to say, okay, this is this type and so on. Enums are more useful for me when it comes to, let's say that you have an enum that has a type, a name, and a number, for instance, then that class would mean more than just a name. So that's when I'm using enums usually. Streams, I have used streams in my AOC, but it's not the first thing I reach for. I think streams are not required. They could be harder to understand for people that are new to programming, and they are great concepts in the right place. And I usually rewrite things in streams sometimes, but it's not the first thing I reach for when I'm just running through. Record classes are not supported in the earlier versions of Java, and sometimes I don't use things that are supported in later versions because I usually program in Java that is really old, and we haven't really come to like Java 21. I think we are running Java 11 at work at the moment, so that could be it. When it comes to my start in software engineering, I wrote my first program when I was 8 in QBasic. And back then, I didn't really know anything about programming. I didn't really understand the appeal of it, but somebody showed me that you could write a program and make it do what you told it. And I wrote it on this really old machine it was a black keyboard with some extra memory that you connected to your television, and then you had this tape player where you recorded sound in order to record your programming. And I created programs that just did print on screen and so on. I borrowed a book at the library and wrote a program that was where you tried to guess different letters in order to figure out a word. And if you failed, you got this little character that slowly but surely was hanged or something like that. So it's a really disturbing game, but it's interesting to code because you learn a bunch of different concepts. And it was just text, no graphics, just text. So that was interesting, and it gave me this urge to learn more. I wanted to know more about this cool thing that you could tell a computer what to do. And I played a bunch of games and so on, and I wanted to get into that. I tried hacking, so I have done basic hacking in my earlier youth. Did a lot of things that were probably not legal when I was younger, and so on. So I really liked playing around with computers, and when I started to go into school for the later years, I was always reaching for going into computer science. And then I went to college, I studied computer science for 4 years, and I'm not sure that I really learned that much about computer science during those years, but I learned a lot about learning. I was really keen on knowing more, but when it comes to computer science, there is always this participle. It's always moving on. It's always happening. So if you learn something today, it will be obsolete tomorrow. So you need to continue learning and learning and learning, because there is so much to know. And the more you know that you don't know, which is also very interesting. So I have been self-taught in many cases, And those skills that I got during college was more teach myself how to work in a team and how disturbingly bad it could be if you have the bad team and so on. So, but I also was trying different concepts. I got to write my own operating system, and I got to play around with different mathematical models and so on. So, of course, you learn something during college years, but you also forget a lot of things. So you sometimes when you sit down with a problem, you could remember that, oh, I was thinking about this and it's probably connected to this thing that I learned earlier. But a lot of the things that I learned, I have forgotten. Do I want to take part in any other coding challenges than Advent of Code? No, I don't. I would like to do it. I'm not sure if I fill the channel with only those kind of videos. I don't think that would be a good take. I think that it's a fun thing to do once a year, but I could also do one video somewhere where we just solve one solution if we find some really interesting thing that we want to solve. But in general, I'm not really that keen on doing these kind of problems, because even though the first video on Advent of Code goes great, it drops off pretty early. I think by the third video, something like that, I don't have any views left. So the people that are really engaged, they continue to watch, and it's fun for me. But when it's not fun for me anymore, then I just stop, because it's not really gaining that many viewers anymore. What other programming languages do you use? I use a bunch of different programs, pretty much whatever is best for the current task. The programming languages that I'm really familiar in is, of course, Java and PHP. Those are my go-to languages most of the time. I write a lot of bash scripts, of course, because I do that kind of programming. I've learned enough to be dangerous when it comes to Python, because, of course, all machine learning is done in Python. So that is something that I need to know some things in. I have been working professionally in Perl for a while, because I had a customer that had this kind of e-commerce solution in Perl and wanted to have help in order to update that. So I worked with Perl a bit. I've written Ruby code. I'm not proficient in Ruby. I would love to know more about Rust. I think I solved the first 5 days of Advent of Code in Rust, but I'm not proficient. I have also written a bunch of these kind of boilerplate code in order to bridge between Java and Rust when we have these kind of solution that is written in C, but we need to use them in Java. Then the glue code could be easier to run in write in Rust. Other than that, what kind of languages have I more worked with? Those are the most common ones. I've tried some Erlang, but I realized that I'm not that into functional programming. It's when I write it, it usually crashes because it runs out of memory, and I think that I have written it in the right way for the concept, but it doesn't work, and that is a bit annoying. So I'm usually not that keen on learning that other programming paradigm, but I see that a lot of people love it, and it gets introduced to all kind of languages because people see the benefits of it. So I should learn more about it. Yeah, my favorite of all of this is probably Java. That's the one I reach for first. But I would also say that PHP is a really cool language. It gets a lot of flack because it's not that consistent and so on. But when it comes to PHP and its reach, you could teach anyone PHP and they can create something really cool on the web with just some HTML skills and PHP. So it's a very diverse language and a very fast language to work in. So that's why I really like it. But I still need to say Java is my favorite because I usually reach for that when I want to do something more complex. And what language I want to learn next? Rust. I want to learn more Rust. It will be really fun to do a couple of videos about Rust if I find a really interesting problem to solve, and I could write that in Rust, and we can learn it together. So that would be a really fun video to do. So this was what I wanted to cover today. This was the video for 10K, and again, thank you so much for sticking along and being here, learning together with me. And let's see if we can reach 20K in next 8 years. Who knows? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that, and we will reach it someday. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any comments or questions for another of these videos, leave that in the comment section down below, and I really hope to see you in the next video.